Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Rider Ramblings. It's a beautiful day today, and in fact we're supposed to have nice weather until about Sunday afternoon. It's a long weekend, a 5-day holiday in France. Wednesday and Thursday are bank holidays, public holidays, so virtually everybody's taken the Friday off. And so they'll be back to work on Monday. So about 25% of them have gone to Normandy, 25% to Brittany, 25% to the Atlantic coast, and 25% to the Mediterranean. So I imagine Paris is relatively empty, looking at the parking places and so on. Relatively empty. Anyhow, I was thinking about all these videos on YouTube, especially the ones aimed at motorcyclists and those aimed at newer motorcyclists. And I'm a bit worried actually, because people will think that the information they're getting on YouTube is good, especially if they have nothing to measure it against. It's rush hour today, I think. We've got traffic everywhere. Priority 𝗪𝗏. Especially if they've got nothing to measure the quality of the information against. And it's, I think, a little bit worrying, because the quality of the information is, how can I put this, at times very bad. They're teaching people to run before they could walk, and especially a lot of the channels are recommending that you get a big bike as your first bike. Well, I say a big bike, what I would consider a big bike, which is 500 cc's or plus. Now, I do know that today 500 cc's or plus is not a big bike, but when I was learning, 500 cc's was considered a large bike, and most people started off on a smaller one. The law at the time was 125, but prior to that law coming in, a lot of people were on 175s. They sort of more or less disappeared with the law. But now they're sort of saying, oh yeah, you need a 750 or a 650. And you don't. Absolutely do not. Because you need to be able to control your vehicle, and you need to be able to learn to control the vehicle. And the heavier and faster the vehicle, then the harder it is to learn how to control it properly. And I think there's something in the idea that you sort of keep somewhere between 250 cc's and below as your first bike, because that way you can actually learn how to maneuver the vehicle properly. It's light enough that you can practice your figure of eights and your turning circles and your emergency stops and avoidance procedures and things like that without dropping it. Whereas if you get on a heavier bike, the chances of you dropping it go up quite considerably, and of course it probably costs more to actually fix. So I'm a little bit worried about actually some of the advice that they give on that. And then the other thing is, you know, they're teaching you in some cases how to filter through traffic and how to trail brake and this type of thing, rather than actually learning the basics. And even some of the videos that are sort of done by people who are supposed training or trainers, I think are trying to get people to run before they can walk. They are. So, I mean, this is a case in point. This is a small bike that people are being asked to learn on, and in fact, so is this. And the Kawasaki just going through there is one which they say you should learn on. Whereas, okay, it is relatively light, but it's very powerful indeed, so for a learner. Yes, I know I have a 150 horsepower motorcycle, but this one's what, 47, 49 horsepower, something like that, and it weighs 265 approximately, 265 kilos, whatever that is in real units, I don't know. And I know for a fact that if you're to learn on this one, it's actually quite difficult to learn how to maneuver it, because when I got her, 14 years ago, the first thing I noticed was, wow, heavy. And it was one of the first things I mentioned. And really trying to learn how to maneuver a heavy bike when you don't really know your clutch control and so on is probably not a good idea. Yes. Anyhow, we're enjoying the bank holiday. It's actually very busy. I imagine there's quite a few shops open. There's a holiday for the 8th of May, which of course is Armistice Day. Well, it's not Armistice Day, it's VE Day, sorry, let me get my facts straight. It's Victory in Europe Day. And then the 9th this year is Ascension, which is a public holiday in France. So today, being the 9th, we're all on holiday. As I say, Ascension moves depending on your when Easter is, and so on. Yes, so that's that. There's another holiday coming up in about 2 weeks' time, which is equivalent to Whit Monday, but I don't think it's the actual same Monday, but it is equivalent to Whit Monday. And it is, I forgot what they call it, Lundy something or other, but I forgot what it is. And I think it's in 2 weeks' time. Yes, anyhow. So that's the holidays. I haven't made a decision about this bike yet. I have been going through the bits and pieces that I've got in the garage that I don't really need anymore, and having a look on the internet to see what the prices of these things are. And wow, you can now, by the way, if you do have a Honda 𝗪𝗏𝗏, you can now get aftermarket side cases for it. Now, the original Honda cases, if you can find them in euros, are about 230 euros, if you can find them. Most people don't have them. Each, that is, 230 euros each. The aftermarket ones are nearly 500 euros each. So that is a bit shocking. I did have a look on CMS NL, and they've got the odd side case available. Sometimes it's a large one, sometimes it's a small one. It might be a left or it might be a right in various different colours, but if you're looking for a black one, I believe they don't have them. Is it one right-hand side large black lid they've got for 228 euros or something? Which quite surprised me. And the other thing that surprised me is the price of the seat. If you need a new seat, it's over 300 euros for the seat. Yet if you buy one from Topbox, which the one I'm sitting on is, it's with all the padding and the gel and all of that, it's 395 euros, I think. There's about 70 euros difference. So I was quite surprised. As I say, I do have the old seat for this, so I will be putting that up for sale, but bringing it over to the UK might be a bit difficult on that. But yes, so things are not cheap. As I say, I do have some side cases. I think I've got a pair of black small ones, which I've repaired because the plastic that holds the screws for the latches broke. So I've repaired that by getting the zip ties, black zip ties and acetone. I might actually do a video on that. Black zip ties and acetone. You melt the zip ties in acetone, you chop them up into little pieces, and then put them into a syringe without a needle in it, and then fill the hole. I tend to put a toothpick down the centre of the hole before it sets, to give me a guide for drilling, and then you can drill it out and then tap it with a screw. It's actually quite easy, and it is the same material that the case is made out of. More or less the same material. You need to check exactly which material that the plastic is made out of, but if you do that, you can repair the plastic quite easily. It's not rocket science, and it's worthwhile doing. So I used super glue and baking powder, bicarbonate of soda, not baking powder, but bicarbonate of soda, to actually repair the piece of plastic that had broken off. I was able to put it back on with that, which makes a very solid bond, and then I filled it out, as I say, with this acetone and zip tie mix. The acetone is just a carrier to make it liquid, and it'll vent off and dry solid. So that's all the acetone is there for. You don't need much. I mean, a little bottle that the women use for nail polish remover is probably sufficient to do quite a large amount, actually. I still actually have one case to do, so I might actually do a video on that. And you can see the what's involved. But I should be selling those. As I say, they're not perfect. They've been used for a number of years, and they are marked. I'm not going to say that they're in perfect condition, but they do have marks on them and so on and so forth from use. So that's that. Anyhow, I hope you're enjoying the sunny weather, because I understand it's the same in the UK, that we've got good weather in the UK, and I'll see you next time. Please like, comment, share and subscribe. Well, petrol's not too bad in price. They usually put it up for the holidays, so it's usually a bit expensive. So yes, please like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.